welcome into your reading. This is going to be a general message for you guys. So we start off with some oracle cards just to get a more general sense of what it is that we're dealing with in today's reading. And then we'll go and pull some tarot cards and get into more specifics and more detail as the reading goes on. So over time, you'll start to see the table fill up with the cards. These readings last anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. So they're more long form readings if you like that type of tarot. And if you like the shorter stuff, I do shorts, weekly shorts per zodiac sign. Those are on the channel. Check those out. So let's get started. We're going to pull from the Celestial Bodies, Astrology, and Numerology Oracle deck. All right, Pisces. What is it for the Pisces that I'm picking up on today, please? Pisces group. What's the overall energy for the Pisces at this time? Take a deep breath, get comfortable. Ooh, nice, Neptune. Okay, well, I mean, as we know, this is your ruling planet. So it does feel as though you're in a comfortable place, a familiar place. Okay, this could be internally, externally. But either way, it is known you can perform well here. You can be confident here, right? Wherever this is that we're speaking of at this time. So with Neptune, obviously there is a sense of creativity, right? It is a more in the ethers type of energy, right? So it's not very rooted. It's not very solid. It's more fluid and intangible type of concepts that we deal with when we're discussing Neptune. Obviously, the spiritual aspect of it comes through as well. Sorry. So as we're talking about this, it just makes me feel that these are things that you like. These are concepts that you enjoy thinking about, speaking on, interacting with. And then the other thing that's coming through is that, I don't know if there is a little bit of, what is this, like illusion happening with you at this time. Maybe you're not so clear about how you feel or how you're seeing a situation. And I don't know if you're romanticizing it or you are going into these fantasies of what the situation might be. So instead of getting the truth and the reality of it, it's more pinpointing a vision, right? Or an outcome, or like the best case scenario. I'm also feeling, like how you want it to turn out. Okay, so the truth in your mind at this time about this situation is the best case scenario for you, instead of it being rooted in actual facts and conversations or actual reality of this 3D dimension. Okay, this is more so the hopes and wishes of how you want the situation to be. So sometimes with this comes a sense of denial. All right, so I don't know if this is a thing or not for you at this time. Let's pull from the Solace Oracle and see what's coming through. With the Solace Oracle, I don't use it very much, so I'm going to need to read from the book about what the card is, okay? So they got the card number 74. This is what the Solace Oracle looks like. 74. Yeah, so it does make me feel like you are off in your mind, right? Like you're playing the stories in your head. You're having conversations between you and another in your head. And it's just very dreamy and very personal as well. There's something private and personal about this that I'm getting now. So this is card number 74, which is called the Strangled Smile. Overindulgence, endless feeding that never satisfies. Hunger still remains. Sometimes I don't even recognize myself and I'm feeling lost. Why have I been seeking an alternate plane of existence, and what pulled me into this place of no return? It all seemed to happen so quickly. What is it that's feeding me? Is it right for me? Do I need help? Am I strong enough to even recognize it? Most of all, is anyone watching? Do they even care? Okay. So yeah, it's very, like I said, personal. One more from the Elemental Oracle deck. Sometimes, you know, especially if you are more introverted, you're more to yourself, you're not very comfortable with opening up or starting a conversation about your feelings or what you're going through because you feel like no one cares, no one will see, no one is asking, you know, and then so much time to yourself, you start to just go into a whole other world. Before you know it, you're no longer rooted in this reality. Before you know it, you're no longer thinking rational or practical, right? Because your mind is just feeding and going into this darkness, into the Neptune illusion area of your psyche. A lot of this, even though you're a water sign and you are emotional, sensitive, a lot of what happens with the Pisces behavior, mentality, way of living, character has to do with the psyche, right? The mind. And so if you're not careful, you can allow the mind to take over and have power over you instead of you controlling and having power over the mind, right? And I know that sometimes it feels good to be so deep in these concepts, so deep in these thoughts, that it's hard to get out because you're so familiar with it. It's a comfortable place. You don't have to face the harshness of reality, even though sometimes your mind can create harsh thoughts. You'd rather be in there, in the other dimensions or mental states of being, than realistic, practical, logical, on earth grounded, because of, you know, the ability or inability to face something that you may be dealing with in the real world. All right. So there is an escapism, and that's why you're so associated with escapism, and you may be associated with alcohol, drugs, you know, things that take you out of this reality. So all of these, or especially these two cards, are very Piscean in nature. The power is coming through, and I'm getting this more as the universe sort of just giving you this message of, you can control this, you can turn this around, you can get out of this, but it's a matter of breaking through a deep-seated behavioral thing, right? Like getting out of it. And it's so deep-seated that how can you even think or fathom the first step to take to change this way of being, to change this reaction or behavior, right? Your go-to behavior, your go-to response is to go into the deep and to go into the psyche in these ways, especially when you are feeling overwhelmed and overstimulated, or there's too much stress, there's too much pain, you know, too much hurt, whatever, right? And so summoning the power, and typically I'm getting like you need it from a spiritual source to help you get through it, to help you break through it. So I'm getting like light source, the sun, God, goddess, you know, whatever it is that you believe, but like the all, right? Like all that is, all that was, you know, like the big picture, the big God. I say universe, right? Some people will say God, some people will say different things. But summoning the assistance of the cosmos to assist you with breaking free, right? So, and going toward the light, finding the light, getting out of the dark, maybe going outside, you know, waking up earlier, opening your windows, opening your doors, letting the sun in, not being in the dark so much, you know. And then also, of course, grounding and going outside, going into nature, you know, going on a hike or going on a little vacation, something like that, where you can be outdoors and you can get out of this mental sort of cage that you're in. All right, let's see what this is about. Let's go into some tarot now, go into some more detail. What's in the personal energy for the Pisces group that I'm picking up on today? Mind, heart, body, soul. Pisces, please. Oh, so much of your energy isn't specifically in the cards are just coming out. I mean, the Hanged Woman, the Piscean card. You have the Pisces, the Neptune, this, I forgot what it was called. Okay, you also have Justice. This is in your personal energy at this time. Something about being faceless. It's like I'm getting a non-bias, like you have no favorites. It is what is right and what is wrong. There is a concept here of, how can I say, like, even if you care and love a person, right is right and wrong is wrong, I'm getting. So there's something around that. And you sort of trying your best to not be so emotionally attached because of the fact that you're trying to be as fair as possible. And I'm also getting a little bit of like hurt feelings as well. I'm also getting a sense of like you thinking to yourself, like, how did I get here? Why are things this way? How did this transpire? You know, there's a lot of fast movements and changes that you want to make now because you put a stop to something. Okay, so you were on a trajectory, you were on a path, and something transpired that created a pause moment and it stopped you in your tracks. And then the karmic element, the justice element of balancing things that are imbalanced is coming through now. And you may be the catalyst to that, or you may be the one that is making decisions to bring balance and right something that is just wrong. Okay. And really putting people in their place and trying to be, like I said, as detached and also as diplomatic as possible, right? Like doing it in a way where you're not necessarily pointing fingers, but it's more so this happened, whether whoever did it, it doesn't matter, but the thing happened and it's wrong and we can't do this anymore, right? Like you're saying I cannot do this anymore. It's not right. Or because something transpired with another person, it's affecting you. For you, it's not right, right? So it's like standing firm in what you believe at this point. And there is changes that need to be made here with the Eight of Wands that is directing you toward another path now. And I'm also getting that you, whether it's the universe or someone else coming in to pull you out and to help you get off of this certain path and onto another. Okay. It's like if you're going down a path and it's not, and I'm getting a visual of these road having debris, and you know, it started off clean and clear, but now all of a sudden it has debris. You're trying to get through it, but still stay on it. And then all of a sudden you come to a fork in the road. Right? You want to continue down the path that's filled with debris, or you see the path that's more clear. It's that metaphorical type of message here, right? Like, get me out of this and take me this way. The universe presents you with the out. It presents you with a solution to that. Because if the justice is here, then that's telling me that there is something that transpired that wasn't the way it should be, right? It's going off course, and the universe is trying its best to help you course correct. Now, if you're not careful, here is where the message lies of trying your best to get out of this mental rabbit hole and breaking free and seeing the light here with the volcano card. Okay. The volcano is an eruption of fire and hot heat. So it's making me feel with the fire element, that element has to do with action and initiation and activity, physical movement, doing something. So in order to get out of this, a physical action needs to be made. Take action. You cannot just wait on it. Because right now you're in a pause moment, and if you continue here and you don't allow the universe, like take the universe's hand, however that looks, that could be in the form of a person or an opportunity or just a way out, then you can stay stuck as the hanged woman, hanged man forever. In your environment, you have the Hierophant. This could be in the form of people, situations, circumstances, but this is in your external. You have the Emperor. You're dealing with someone who is really tough, who exudes a lot of control and power, who could be a little I can't say the word correctly, but in other words, a tyrant, right? Like a dictator, or it's a very strong, stiff, rigid energy that I'm picking up on. They are also very much black and white in their way of thinking, not very much like there's no compromise, there's no middle ground. One more, please, for the external. And they want to remain in control. You may have some sort of commitment or contract with this person. 9 of Wands. Wow. So whereas you have the 8 and you're trying to make changes and create movement and, you know, sort of transform the situation to create more fairness and balance, this person here is very against that. Okay. And so they are trying their best to not allow this to transpire, to not, you know, to prevent it from happening. They may feel like they have a say-so, like they have the upper hand. You may be in their debt in some way. You may feel like they control a certain aspect of your life. Therefore, it's hard for you to make these changes. But I do think that you're standing up for yourself. And I do think that there is some sort of value that you bring into this where you're taking that back. So even if you don't think that you have the physical material power, whereas they do because of the Emperor here, you did bring some sort of value, whether that is your support, your love, you know, your, I don't know, companionship, or some sort of value, right? You're just like stopping that and taking it back. Like you're what's the word? I'm sorry, I lost the word, but you know what I mean? So yeah, they're trying their best to prevent you from making any changes, like I said, and they're falling back on a lot of the promises. They're falling back on the contracts, the commitment, and sort of just saying like, okay, this is what we said we were going to do. You can't go back on that, right? Like we already discussed this before. This is how it is. You can't go back on that. So I don't know if this is like a on paper contract or commitment, or this was just a conversation and words. But I think that that is their go-to when it comes to preventing this change from happening. All right, let's go into more detail and get cards from a different deck. So this deck here is the Dream Keepers Tarot. I'm going to start to use Magical Hours Tarot here. This could be a 30-day breakdown. See what else is coming through for the Pisces. What do they need to anticipate, prepare for, know about? Pisces, please. Seven of Swords, yikes. It has to be crooked, I know it is. You always do that. Okay, Seven of Swords. I don't necessarily like that very much, but it does make me feel like someone is trying to get away. Could be you, obviously, next to the Eight of Wands. More sword cards. Six and Seven of Swords. Wow, you're going. You're going. It doesn't feel like you care. And maybe you do care. I'm not saying that's the wrong word. It doesn't feel like you're allowing them and this commitment, this promise, whatever it is, to stop you. Like, for you, it's enough is enough. Sorry. Let's see. Knight of Wands, man. It'll be a spur of the moment. Like, something will happen that just triggers you to be like, I'm out. And then the Judgment card. Yes, all of this first row here is screaming the get out, the get away. The Judgment card is your moment where things just happen, where it's like, now's the time. If I don't do it now, like, this is the perfect moment to run, to go. The Knight of Wands is just throwing the caution to the wind, if that makes sense. And just knowing that maybe you've dealt with this for so long, it just started to build up and build up and build up. And now it's to the point where you're not thinking about the consequences, whereas before maybe you were. That's what held you back. Or maybe you had hope, right? Maybe you had hope before, which, you were still there, but something happens where that hope just, you lose it. And for, when a Pisces to lose the hope, that means that they have tried their best. You're taking, I don't know. It makes me feel like all of this mental stuff that you've had, there was something that was creating a sense of fear, right? Like, whatever it was until now that was holding you back from making this move, you now release that. And you have accepted the outcome, because I feel like there is an outcome that's happening because of this, that it's not necessarily in your favor, but you're willing to go through something, right? If it means you getting away from this overpowering, I'm getting like this person is big-headed, or like, how do I say, like, they thinks themselves better than you. This person looks down on you, it feels like. They have this sense of righteousness, or like being right, and entitlement even, And so when they do communicate with you, when you interact with them, they demean you. And maybe that was creating some sort of fear, right? This manipulative, controlling behavior that they had over you. But now and like I said, there is something that you promised them, or that you said that you would give, or something like that. It could be like a marriage, right? Or like a, you're getting an actual divorce or something. But you will go through the consequences, the aftermath of making this move. But with the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Wands, it's like, what is right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I don't care what I go through, right? Like, to an extreme, it'll be like, I don't care if they kill me, right? Or if I go, I don't know, broke or something, right? Like, it's that type of feeling, like you cannot stay here any longer. You don't care if you have to start from scratch, if you have to start from the bottom. You don't care that you lose everything you've worked for. This is a bigger matter. This is more of what you stand for, your respect, right? Like how someone treats you. They dehumanize you. They don't treat you as a person should be treated. It's really, to the extreme, it's a very horrible feeling and situation to go through if you're dealing with someone like that. 2 to 3 weeks after you make this move, or 2 to 3 weeks from now, I'm sorry, you have the Three of Swords, the Sun, the Five of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. Here is where the settling in of your big move starts to happen. It's this back and forth for a little bit of feeling good, feeling grateful, feeling blessed that you're out, that you made this choice, but then regretting, having a little bit of shame, or taking responsibility for what's going to transpire, right? Or feeling really down that you were even in the situation to begin with, right? These types of moments and these types of situations are always lessons for us to learn about ourselves. And if you're the Pisces that gets out and actually stands up for yourself and does something about it, right, then that's a lesson learned. And it shows you your power. It shows you what you're capable of. And it allows you to feel and know that you are loved. You are deserving of love. You're deserving of respect. You're deserving of people, situations, circumstances that value you, that humanize you, right? So there's lessons here, especially if you struggle with insecurity or feeling less than, like your lack of self-worth. And to stand up for yourself creates a huge surge of that. So it's a beautiful thing. You feel more confident to be truthful and direct and speak how you feel and, stand up for yourself here, but not without a sense of sadness, hurt, pain, loss, regret with the Five of Cups and the Three of Swords. Okay. Maybe somebody actually hurt you and betrayed you, and you lost trust in them and it hurts. You lost the concept, the vision, right, that we spoke about in the beginning, where the truth to you was your fantasy of the best case scenario, right? You had a vision of this whole situation being completely different than what it turned out to be. And so you lost that hope. You had hope in that, you wanted that so bad. But because of how things transpired, because of the reality of the situation, there's no way that you could ever have that with this person, with this place, with this situation. It doesn't mean that you have to lose hope on ever having that. If that's your dream, if that's your ideal way of living, your ideal life that you want to live, the ideal relationship you want to have, or the ideal job that you want to be in, right? Then don't stop dreaming about it and don't stop working toward it. It just wasn't happening with this person. It just wasn't happening with this situation. Does that make sense? And now, because of this, you know what to look out for. You can course correct, which I said earlier, right? Like, okay, this is how I attracted it to begin with. This is how I jumped into it the last time. These are the things that I did, right? You can sort of Seven of Pentacles the situation and revise your whole strategy and plan for the next time when you try again. Does that make sense? So the hope is not lost. It's just you had hope in it being with this person or with this situation. And it's okay. You can say thank you for showing me certain things that I needed to see. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to prove to myself that I am capable and powerful. Thank you for showing me what love is not, so I know what it is, right? Like things like that, right? Like turning lemons into lemonade type of concepts. Queen of Wands. Beautiful. Oh my God, I love this so much as an outcome and result. The Magician. Oh, King of Wands. So much power coming through here at the end, on the other side of this. So much power. Here's that fire that's erupting. Four of Wands. More fire. I don't know if this is at the end of this 30-day period or this is just more of a bigger picture reading. Either way, the result and the outcome of this situation is beautiful. Either way, you have solidified and created a part of you that is stronger, that is more confident, that is more, that feels like they can do things and show up in ways that before this situation happened, you probably never thought possible. Okay, it feels as though maybe before you were just more of a like a yes person, or you were more of service, which obviously the Pisces is an energy that is of service, and self-sacrificing, which is a beautiful thing. And I'm sure you'll never lose that because that is embedded in the archetype of the Pisces. But it doesn't mean that you can self-sacrifice just for anyone or for anything, right? Learning what to do that, what and who to do that for, right? The people who value you, the people who love you, the situations that bring you more joy, that bring something in, that bless you instead of deflate you and take from you, right? Like creating that balance within yourself so that way you can promote more of this externally as well. You may come into contact with someone who is this way because now you start to, it tweaked something within your personality and your character to be more assertive and confident and powerful. Now that you are exuding more of this, you will see that externally you are in turn attracting more of this. Therefore, because of that, you may literally manifest with the Magician a like-minded, kindred spirit, compatible situation or partner that creates a sense of union and joy and happiness here with the Four of Wands. Now, again, I don't know if this is happening within the next 30 days or if this is more of a big picture thing, because a lot of this is big change. It's transformative, right? And when we're dealing with personal, internal transformation from situations like this, it's not overnight. it doesn't happen within 30 days. The awareness is overnight, right? The awareness and the memory, and even if you want to say the trauma of it, is instant. But to be able to integrate it and allow it to transform you, that takes time, right? Because you have to, it's like going back and forth with changing your behavior. The old behaviors come through, and then you stop yourself and you become aware of it, and then you start to integrate the new behaviors and way of thinking and doing, right? So it's like when you think of a habit that's being formed, right? It takes 21 days to form a habit. It's that concept of the repetition, the constant awareness and consciousness of it, in turn, the action that you have to do to change your behaviors eventually will mold you into this way of being consistently and naturally, if that makes sense. Either way, it's a beautiful ending here. So I'm happy for you. If you want a more in-depth reading, because there's so much more that I can go into, but this is a general message on YouTube. So, my email is in the description of this video, so you can just email me and we can do a one-on-one. If not, and you got something out of this, like the video, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. But this is a beautiful reading, as long as, you do something about it and take action and don't get stuck here in this hanged man energy. It's going to turn out okay. And you're strong enough and powerful enough to get through it. All right, Pisces, thanks. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.